Well, hello folks, it's Mike again. I just want to welcome you back to Keto Style, and boy, today have we got a treat for you. We're going to be doing fried green beans with bacon, and I've got some bacon already starting to fry here. As you can hear that sizzle. Can you hear that sizzle? Man, that is awesome. I want you to just take a look at this. I've already got some fried up, but in order to do fried green beans in a cast iron skillet, basically, it's really simple to do. All you need to do is fry up a few pieces of bacon. Now, I've got some already fried up, but I'm going to continue to fry a few more. If it's more than I actually need, you can always just eat a piece of bacon by itself. But the ingredients are simple to do this. Once you get your bacon fried, I've got some green beans, and I've already opened the cans. Now, what the big thing about green beans is there's a lot of juice in those and water, and what we're going to do, we're going to drain those off before we start to fry them. The other ingredients that we have is a little bit of garlic. I've got some extra bacon here we're going to fry up, but I'm going to put about a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon. I like a lot of garlic, so I'll probably put a tablespoon. That's what I've laid out here anyway. And just a little salt in with the green beans when we fry them. And you don't want to put a whole lot of salt in because your bacon automatically has a little salt with it too. So you want to season your salt, or season your green beans with salt gradually, because like I said, you've already got salt in your bacon. Okay, well, we've got our bacon fried up and we've got it laid over here drying, draining actually, to drain the grease off, the excess grease. Now, one thing I failed to mention earlier, you want to fry your bacon up fairly crisp because you want to be able to crumble this up in your green beans. I poured most of the bacon grease off. We still have a little bit of grease, basically just enough to cover the bottom of the skillet to fry these green beans. Now, one thing I do, some people may not do this or whatever, but I've got a little bit of water. I'm going to put just a little bit of hot water in the bottom of this skillet to deglaze all of the bacon pieces that was on the very bottom. But just be careful when you're doing this. You can actually use wine. Some people use wine to deglaze the skillet, or hot water works just as well in this. But what it does, it gets all the goodies off of the bacon that was, when it fries up, there'll be little bacon pieces in that. But once that's done, I mean, that's real simple. It's not a real hard process to do. But we've also taken our green beans and we've drained the water out of the green beans. You want to be sure and drain all your water completely out of your can, because what we're going to be doing, we're going to be frying these green beans down to where there's no water in them at all. They're just going to be completely fried. And so go ahead and dump your green beans in this. I'm going to turn my skillet back up to just a little above medium low. And we've got another can here we're going to dump in. So we're going to have 2 cans of green beans. Now, I know that looks like a lot, but they're going to fry down because of the water content. Once they start to fry, they will reduce down in size. So we'll go ahead and get those on there. Now, what I like to do, once I get my green beans in the skillet, I like to let them kind of get a little bit of a char on the bottom before I actually start to stir them. So while these are getting ready to cook down, I also want to put my salt and my garlic. I like to add garlic to mine, so I've got about a tablespoon of garlic I'm going to just sprinkle on here. And once we get everything turned later on, it'll all mix together. I'll go ahead and get my garlic in there. And I've got about half a teaspoon of Redmond's sea salt that I use. That's some really good salt, and I'll leave a little information down in the description box on this salt. But like I said, don't put too much salt in there at first because your bacon already has salt in it. And so once we get these cooked down, we can salt those to taste. As soon as we get these fried down a little bit, we'll come back to you and show you what they look like. All right, well, we've got our green beans starting to cook down, and I've already turned these a little bit. I want you to look at this, how we deglazed that skillet, and you can see how this is soaking up all those goodies from that bacon and starting to fry down. You notice how big the skillet was earlier when we put the fresh green beans in there, but you can see now how much they're already starting to cook down. We're not completely there yet. We still got a little ways to go, but I just wanted to show you what they look like when they're cooked down. I'm going to go ahead, I've chopped up a little bit of the bacon that we had. We had a few pieces left earlier, so you want to use however much you want. If you want a lot, put a lot. If you only want a little, put a little. But we've got this much we're going to put, which is about 6 pieces, maybe 8 pieces. And so we'll eat those other ones on the side, but I'm just going to take and just sprinkle this throughout my green beans and let them continue to fry down. And as soon as they get completely done, we'll pull these up and I'll show you what the finished product looks. But anyway, just stir that in there, let them continue to cook down. You got to kind of watch them now when they get to this point, or they'll tend to stick to your skillet a little bit. So you want to be sure and turn those. One thing too, this extra bacon, these chunks of bacon like this, bacon bits will help to lubricate the skillet and keep everything going good. So we'll be back here shortly in just a little bit and show you what this looks like as a finished product. All right, well, we've got this cooking down, and I want you to take a look at this, folks. Now, you want to be sure when you get down to this point, after you add your bacon and everything, you want to be sure and stir this ever so often, because what we want now, we want fried green beans. We don't want burnt green beans. So you want to be sure and stir these occasionally just to make sure they don't stick to the skillet. And another thing you're going to want to do, which I've already done, I've already tasted them to see if they're seasoned to my liking, and they're not. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this salt to this and mix this in real quick, and we'll be done with that. And so you just want to incorporate that with your green beans. But you know, you need to salt those to taste. Don't put a whole tablespoon in there because it may be too salty for you if you don't like a lot of salt. But anyway, we've got that where we want it. I'm going to go ahead and plate up a little bit of this and let you see what this looks like. I mean, that is fried green beans in a cast iron skillet right there, folks. You can't beat this. I mean, this, if you've never tried this, you need to try this recipe, because down here in the South and in the Mid-South, people eat this all the time. We have this pretty regular, so it's something common that we cook and we really enjoy. You just can't hardly beat that right there. That is awesome. So anyway, we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. I hope you give it a try, and if you like it, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Share this with your friends and family on social media, and we'll be coming back to you again soon. It's Mike over here at Keto Style.